Today we're going to find out where Tarkin is during Andor.
After so many setbacks and delays, and now this.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at where Grand Moff Tarkin is and what he's actually doing during the Andor series. At the time of the Andor series, Grand Moff Tarkin holds command of every single Empire-aligned planet in the Outer Rim territories, making him one of the most politically powerful members within the Empire, answering solely to Emperor Palpatine himself, and even earning the respect of Darth Vader along the way. Unfortunately, Peter Cushing, who portrayed the character in live action, passed away in 1994, actually a short drive from where I live.
From a certain point of view.
That hasn't prevented the character of Tarkin coming into live action since then. In 2016's Rogue One, he was digitally recreated using CGI.
The dark side of the Force.
Which wasn't brilliant, but with today's standards we can expect that to be so much better, and there's actually a hidden clue within Andor which could be hinting at his return,
Unnatural.
which we'll come on to a little bit later. So sit back, relax, remember to subscribe if you're new around here, and leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. There's much more to the man than just the Moff. Considering Tarkin's responsibilities as the governor of the Outer Rim during the events of the Andor series, he's bound to be extremely busy. The Outer Rim covers most of the places you're probably familiar with, such as Tatooine, Hoth, and Mandalore, to name just a few. But the presence of the Death Star being fully assembled in the Outer Rim, now that's sure to take up the majority of Tarkin's time, especially at this stage where it's so close to being completed after already waiting 14 years since we saw it in Revenge of the Sith. There's a vast gap in Tarkin's timeline which is missing in canon, however it is filled in more with legends. It's going to take a bit of digging into, but pulling from both canon and legends, we should be able to paint a pretty good picture on what Tarkin is during around this time. Starting at around 11 BBY, it became clear to Tarkin that the production of Stormtrooper armour wasn't up to scratch after a ground assault vehicle he was travelling in on the planet of Zvuka was ambushed by locals who were against the new Imperial rule on the planet. There wasn't enough Stormtroopers present to stop the attack. You see, recruiting numbers were good, which meant production numbers on the armour they needed were no longer hitting the quota. At the request of Palpatine, he joined up to investigate the production issue alongside cyborg Count Vidian to take over control of the armour production on Gilvanine, to bring it under the Imperial Department of Military Research. Now remember that name because it's important later. During the same year, Julican was also brought under the Imperial rule, which subsequently fell under the governorship of Tarkin. We get the picture that as the Empire's reach expanded, so did Tarkin's, increasing his responsibilities at the same time, although that could be to his detriment. You see, the more territory Tarkin has to cover, the more problems he would have to deal with.
Wouldn't it be easier if it all just blew away?
Largely from sections of locals who initially fought against the respective takeovers. Wilhuff, now that was his actual name, was also known for his brutality and inhumane treatment, something which would only worsen over time as he had more on his plate. Briefly looking at Tarkin's personal life, which is explored in Legends, and I do hope they actually bring some of this into canon because some of it's pretty funny. He was a bit of a gold digger, right? Married Talassa Motti, who came from an influential family on Pelarian for her money and contacts. Tarkin had no love for his wife and subsequently had an affair. Now I told you, he was busy. In 6 BBY, so we are now just a year before Andor, Tarkin attended a graduation ceremony at the Academy of Carida where he congratulated valedictorian Han Solo and soon-to fell because in Legends Han Solo actually served in the Empire much longer than what he did in Solo, which of course is the canon version. From one future lover to another, later that year Tarkin visited Viceroy Bail Organa of Alderaan, who is still suspected of disloyalty to the Empire, where Princess Leia dropped a water balloon which struck the Grand Moff. Hopefully she dropped it on his head. Now Wilhuff wasn't just a political man, he actually carried out the Arbitrus Sector massacres, and around 5 BBY, which is in a time of Andor, he brought the defiant Mon Calamari under control and enslaved Gail Akbar, yes, the one we know as Admiral Akbar. Now Akbar went into the service of Tarkin's subordinate naval officer before he was gifted to Tarkin as a servant. Akbar was Tarkin's personal aide and chauffeur. Over time, Wilhuff grew fond of his ever-reliable servant, considering him like a pet. Also this year, Tarkin's younger brother Gideon Tarkin died in a mutiny, so Wilhuff embraced his responsibilities as an uncle and took in his niece. You can just imagine how much of a blast Grand Moff was at the dinner table after work. Voce, Wilhuff's niece, expressed her grief with frequent tantrums, and Wilhuff, being the understanding family man he was, soon taught her some respect by sending a serving girl, who she had befriended since her arrival, along with her family to a prison which was situated on an asteroid, and then sent her away to a preparatory academy where she learned to fill her role as an elite socialite. Right, so now we know what Grand Moff Tarkin's been up to. What could we expect from him in Andor? Well, with the way Andor is going at the moment, we can probably expect to catch up with Wilhuff one fine Saturday morning in his home, enjoying a cup of coffee with Admiral Akbar barking at the TV. No, I joke. Going back to what I said earlier about there being hidden clues within Andor, which could be hinting at his return, well, with the introduction of the Imperial Security Bureau in Episode 4, one of the departments that come under the ISB is the Imperial Department of Military Advanced Weapons Research. Remember that one I told you to remember earlier on? Which is the department that Tarkin's secret think tank conceived of the Death Star. It's entirely possible that Andor will dive into some of the things the ISB's internal departments are working on, paving the way for the reintroduction of Tarkin. At this point in time, it's safe to say Tarkin is heavily focused on finishing the Death Star, probably starting to become aware of the rising rebel fractions carrying out small-scale attacks on the Empire and his territories, whilst also continuing to serve the Empire and expand their reach across the galaxy, among many other things. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think. Do you think we will see Tarkin in Andor? Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next video, and may the Force be with you.